Hello, hello, hello. Running into stuff. Hello. Happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I am so very happy that you could join me tonight. My name is Mandy VanHavermaet, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up from Gray Eagle, Minnesota. And I tonight am going to make some projects using the Rustic Harvest Suite out of the new mini catalog. I have to tell you, I don't generally do a whole lot of fall cards. I love the fall colors. Fall colors are my colors. They're just fantastic. Hello, Joyce. Thank you for joining. But I don't send a ton of fall cards. But this suite caught my eye instantly. And I think it's just the pumpkins and the simplicity of it. And I am so excited to share it with you tonight. So hi, Beth. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get stamping and reviewing the the Rustic Harvest right away. Let me get my camera situated here. All right. So Rustic Harvest, if you are looking in your mini catalog, is on page 48 and 49. There we go. All right. So this is the suite of products right here. And there's not much about this suite that I don't love. I love pumpkins. I love fall. I love the colors. They have some really cool, exciting news in the accessories. First things first, you've seen me do some embossing before. Stampin' Up has brought back an embossing additions toolkit, and this is fantastic because it has your embossing buddy. It has a little brush so you can brush off your extra if you get some extra on there by accident. A little tweezers so you can grab or hold on to your stuff and not burn your fingers, because we've all burned our fingers before. And then a tray that you can use and then dump your embossing powder back into your jar. So that is a really cool toolkit. If you do not have those tools yet, that's a great way to get them. And then also, if you're a scrapbooker like me, I don't know if you're aware, the way that I got into stamping was scrapbooking. I started with scrapbooking. I had this great idea, and I still do. I scrapbook my kids, and then I started scrapbooking our vacations, and it's just grown from there. But they finally have brought back, Stampin' Up has brought back basic black 12 by 12 cardstock. Oh, I'm so excited. You have no clue how excited I am, because it almost killed me to buy another brand of black cardstock. But 12 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. I'm so happy. I'm so in love. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so stamp set and dies. Let's go through that quick. It's a red rubber stamp set. Has some really awesome sentiments. This one here is included with like the banner around it. Wishing you the loveliest day. What a great sentiment for a wedding card, right? A fall wedding. What a great sentiment. You are such a blessing. I do believe you probably could do some masking and maybe put that inside of there. Otherwise, it will fit inside of the banner die also. And then hello, and you are missed. And then it's got this great pumpkin, some great foliage and flowers there, a couple leaves and some swirly things. The dies are fantastic. So we've got a die that will cut out the different stamps. So there's a die to cut out this, and the leaf and the pumpkin. So all of those things. And then there's a die that'll cut out this shape also. And then there's also there's some little swirly curly cue things like the vines on a pumpkin. So those are pretty cool. And then these three here will actually build a textured pumpkin, and we're going to use those on a card tonight. And then there's the paper, which the paper is always cool, right? And this has got an extra really neat feature. So I'm going to show you this side first. Nice Cajun Craze. This one here, I love it when they do these. You can cut this down the middle at 6 and then trim it to your size, and you've basically got a card front, right? Love that. I think it's so pretty. Some nice Mossy Meadow. These I can totally see fussy cutting out all those little gourds and putting them on a card, but beautiful just like that. A nice crushed curry, and then some beautiful pumpkins. And then what's really fun is on the back, they're all black and white. I love it when they do that. And so if you're thinking, gosh, I don't make enough fall cards to justify having all that fall stuff, you don't have all that fall stuff. This one, this one, this one, and this one would totally be any other season as well. So it's a very versatile card pack. So keep that in mind. And then I'm going to show you these, and I really like these, and I'm going to show you. So it's the leaf label and amber gem combo pack. I like them. They're kind of a cross between a soft suede and craft. They're kind of in between. The little leaf, they're kind of a maple leaf shape. They're kind of a different color on the back. Like they're a little different. So if you know, one side is better for you than the other. And then these gems, these amber gems come inside. And I wanted to pull out the champagne rhinestones just to give you kind of an idea of how different they are. The amber gems really have a way orangier tone. So they are most definitely more of a fall. The champagne gems would work great. They're one of my favorite things. But the amber is just a little bit oranger, a little bit bolder color. So I wanted to show you that difference there. All right, enough talking. Let's get stamping, because that's why I'm down here today. And I'm getting out from helping my husband set up a garage sale. It's kind of a double feature for me. All right, so first card we are going to do, I am going to actually make this card here. So I'm going to show you how I cut this. So this is this is a 6-inch piece. I took that one piece and I cut it in half at 6 inches. So I'm going to show you how I determine where I'm going to cut that. Okay. And then I've got a piece of Cajun Craze, and this was a base. This is going to be a kind of a fun fold. So this is actually cut at 7 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. So it's a regular card panel, but I cut 1 1/4 inch off on this one side, and then I scored it down the middle at 4 1/4. So when we fold it, it's going to be 1 1/4 inch short right there. Okay. And then I've got a 1-inch piece of Mossy Meadow, 1 inch by 5 1/2. And then I've got, let's see here. I should have wrote these down. I am going to cut a piece of 5 by 5 1/4 by 2.75. And so this one is going to be, this is going to be 5. This is going to be 5 1/8 by 2 5/8. And this is going to be 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So we're just growing it by 1/8 of an inch each way. And then I've got a piece of basic white, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so let's cut our piece of our, what kind of flowers are those? Those are mums. That's the fall flower. I like them. I like all of them. Okay, so I need a piece that is, what did I say here? I need a piece that's 2 1/2. So I'm going to just line it up and cut it at 2 1/2. But now it's 6 inches this way, and I need it to only be 5 inches this way. Okay, so I'm going to eyeball it, and I want to leave my butterfly on there. I don't want to cut my butterfly off. So I'm really not measuring on this side. I'm really truly only measuring to keep it so that my butterfly is still on there, because I don't want that little guy gone. Okay, so now I'm going to take that piece out, and now I'm going to measure it at 5 inches. So it is cutting off some of this greenery down at the bottom, but I'm okay with that because I've got my butterfly, and that's what it's all about. It's kind of like the hokey pokey. So that is that. And now I am going to show you one of my favoriteest all-time tricks. Let's fold this in half, or fold this at the score mark and burnish it. Okay. I am going to show you one of my favorite tricks. So I'm going to layer these, right, like this. And so you're not going to see this part of the paper, right? So I'm going to take my piece of crushed curry, and that's where I'm going to stamp my sentiment and cut it out, and you will never know that I did that. So I've got my Early Espresso ink pad. I'm going to use the stamp that's got the banner built in, so wishing you the loveliest day. And I truly think this would be a great card for a wedding. I think this is a perfect fall wedding card. If you were to stamp congratulations on the inside or best wishes, I think it would be spot on for a fall wedding. So now I am going to take my die and I'm going to line it up. And this one's got a little bit of room on the outside. It's not right on the line. So, and then I'm going to take a Post-it note and just put that on there so that it holds my die in place. And then I'm going to make my sandwich. So I've got my plate 1. Here, let's do it so you can read it. Plate 1, plate 2, plate 3. Just like it says on my cut and emboss machine. Going to put that on there and then put a second plate 3 right on top and run it through. This is one of my favorite ways to eliminate waste on our paper. I think that is like just one of the best tricks. Okay, so and then what else I'm going to do is take my strip of 1 by 5.5 Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to use the Hive embossing folder. I'm going to stick that right in there, just like that. And so now I'm going to build my sandwich again, and this is a 3D embossing folder. So if we read the directions on our plate, using a 3D embossing folder, you're going to use plates 1 and 4 with the embossing folder inside. So just like that, and run that through. All right, so that's what that looks like. And I'm not sure which way you're supposed to use it, if you use it that way or you use it that way. Do you guys have a preference? I'm going to use it this way. I want the bumps in, but excuse me, I don't know that there's a right or a wrong way. Again, we're stamping, we're crafting, we are creating, and there's no perfect right answer to any of it, right? Do what makes you happy. Okay, so let's attach our, let's get that started there. Attach our layers down. So this truly is one of my favorite little sneaky things. One of my girlfriends taught me that, and I try not to forget it because it is one of the best hacks ever. Okay, so there's that, and now I'm going to put that on there, and voila, it's hidden. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I know I kind of messed up my dimensions and stuff like that. The dimensions will be listed in the description on YouTube, so don't worry about that. You can always catch those down there. All right, so that's all put together. Isn't that is like the best of fall colors right there. Oh, so pretty. Now let's attach this guy down. I'm just going to put a little adhesive on there. And I liked the look. This is only 1 inch wide, my strip here, my Mossy Meadow strip, and my cut is 1 1/4. So I'm leaving a little bit of space on the outside and a little bit of space in by where it folds. So, and I'm just squishing it down because my embossing kind of made it out a little bit. I like it that direction personally. So let's put the inside of our card in. And this again was just 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Just like that. And don't you think that this would make, if you were to just put congratulations or best wishes, or you know what, this could be a great birthday card too for fall. There's wishing you the loveliest day is a pretty usable sentiment, honestly. So, and I'm just going to center that. Just like that. So pretty. So pretty. All right, and now I'm going to take my sentiment and put a couple, I'm going to put 3, I think. And I'm going to put it just like this. So I want to kind of think about where, right about there. And that seems like a lot, but it's got to hold really well, and I don't want it to pop loose. So I love it. And now I'm going to take some of my amber gems that were in that combo pack there. And these just make it pop just a little bit more. So beautiful. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I love that card. I think it turned out great. And they're all just a little bit different because the paper is lined up different. But I think that is just a fun little fancy fold card. So that's card number 1. Let's move on to card number 2. All right. And of course, just before I started this, I changed it a little bit. So bear with me. This is my card that I am making, but I'm not going to make it with a yellow pumpkin. I'm actually going to make it with a copper pumpkin. So I've got a piece of basic black that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it is not scored down the middle yet at 4 1/4. So let's do that quick. There we go. Now it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So fold and burnish that. Okay. And then I've got a piece of, let's see here. I've got 2 pieces of basic white. Both of them are 4 by 5 1/4. So just my basic panel size. Then this piece of designer series paper, I'm going to use this side. It is 3.75, so 3 3/4 by 5. So it's a little bit smaller. Then I've got a piece of designer series paper that's 1 by 5 1/4. And another piece of designer series paper that's 1 1/4 by 3. So, and then I've got a scrap of Mossy Meadow, and I've got some copper foil. So let's get creating. So let's start by adhering this panel right down onto my white, my basic white. And it's just going to center so there's a nice border around everything. And then this piece is going to go just like that, okay? If my husband were here, he could tell us all the different kinds of leaves we have here. He is, well, I know that this is oak, and I got a goober. I got a goober. Need my adhesive remover. He's so like into that stuff. He amazes me. Even in the spring when there are no leaves on the trees, I can identify like the basics, you know, maples and oaks and stuff like that. But we can be walking through the woods and he's like, oh, that's a poplar tree, that's an elm, that's an ash, and he by the bark. He's pretty good. I don't know how he does it. Not quite sure. Okay. So on the back side behind this piece here, I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive because I'm going to use the crinkled seam binding ribbon. And you know, you could use basically any ribbon that you wanted to. I thought about using the Early Espresso ribbon, but I didn't like the brown with the black, and that's just me. So I thought the crinkled seam ribbon would be good. So I just attached it in the back and then ran it down. And I cut off just a little bit extra and then tack it down in the back. So now it's tacked down on the adhesive that's on the back, and it will stay. Okay? So now we can put that down onto our card front. Our card base, I should say. And I like the black with the fall theme, the fall colors this time. It's a little different than what we've normally done. Usually they put the browns, it seems like, in there. So this is a nice change of pace. So I am going to attach that down right there. And you probably could attach it underneath if you wanted to. It does not matter because that part is not going to be seen. I am having glue runner issues tonight. I'm more concerned about getting it over here. So let's do that. Okay, and so then I can put my inside in right now too, because it's going to be a note card. It's not going to be any stamping on the inside. I find that I make a lot of just note cards that are blank on the inside. I personally like that because I like to write notes. Okay, so let's make some pumpkins, and these pumpkins are so cool. So I have got the 3 pieces here, and these 2 stack together to make a pumpkin, and then this is the stem. So I'm going to cut these 2 out in my copper foil, and I'm going to squish them over as much as I can so that I can not waste much, because we don't get enough foil in our packs. So that, like that. And then with my green, I'm going to show you a trick. So I'm going to build my sandwich first. So I've got my cutting plate number 1, my shim number 2, plate number 3, which I'm going to turn over because it's warped a little bit and I don't want it to roll. Okay, so I'm going to build my sandwich here. So just stop moving on me. There we go. Okay, don't touch anymore. Okay, then I'm going to put my Mossy Meadow down there. I'm going to take my little stem piece, and I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow ink. And if you have a tweezers, so like the tweezers that are in that pack, the accessory pack with the embossing, that's what these tweezers are handy. This is my Cricut one. I'm just going to grab that off of there. And this will get hidden. So what's going to happen is I just want to make sure that that's there. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to drop that down. And then we're going to put our second plate number 3 on top and run it through. I think my pumpkin moved. It sure did. I was going to have a square bottom pumpkin and that wouldn't be good. Okay, better. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so when I take that off, the ink comes off of there and it transfers onto our stem. So just like that. Isn't that pretty? And so what I meant was I pressed too hard when I put it on my ink pad, and I had a little bit of ink down here. It hit more than here and I pressed right there. So that's what got there, but that's going to hide. So I'm not going to be too worried about it. So just be mindful that when you do that technique, you really only have to tap it really, really, really lightly, because you only need the raised pieces to get inked up. So, oh, look at that copper pumpkin. So cool. It's going to be so shiny and pretty. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to do that. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm going to put it on just like that. I like it. So let's see what we're going to do. We're going to attach this one down directly onto the paper, and I think I'm going to bump up that center. So just like that. And then this is going to be on. I'm going to use glue because that's a little piece and I'm having troubles with tape runners tonight. Okay. Oh, I like it already. I like it already. Like that. Yeah, skinny. I'm trying to decide. There's a skinnier side, right? There's two. It's a little different shaped. I want that skinnier side to go on top. Oh, that's cool. And I'm going to use some dimensionals on that, which are right here. And I think 3 are sufficient. Oh, that is so neat. Oh, I love it. Okay, now I've got a scrap of, okay, dimensional backs. Go there. Okay, so I've got a scrap of basic white here, and this is 3/4 inches thick, and I'm going to use the sentiment, "You Are Missed," just in my basic Momento black ink. Don't you think I need that sentiment? I needed this sentiment because there are times where I miss people and I just want them to know you're missed. So that is a great sentiment. So what I'm going to do I want to stick it on the pumpkin, or do I want to, let's see here, do I want to kind of stick it like that? I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put just a little, this is my cheater hack. I just shoved it right in there. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right there, just to keep it tacked down, and hold it there for a second. And I did not do any specific size on that. I just stamped it on my 3/4 inch strip and just cut it off where I thought I wanted it to be cut off. I didn't do anything specific there. So, oh, I like that copper. That's cool. Let's put, I think those look okay. Yeah, they're just orange looking. I think they look fine. Let's put a couple on. Because everything's better with sparkles. Like, everything is better with sparkles. There we go. All right. All right, so there's my 2 cards. Tell me which one you like better. Do you like the crushed curry pumpkin, or do you like the copper? I'm not sure which one I like. The crushed curry, I actually used some different embellishments too. I didn't necessarily like how these looked with the crushed curry, so this is the brushed metallic adhesive back dots on that one. But those are my other 2. So these are the cards that I made tonight, and I just love it. The Rustic Harvest Suite. I love this suite. I can't make enough pumpkins. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and say goodbye. My gnome's still hanging out there. He's still there. He's not going anywhere. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. I would be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I will see you. I won't see you next Friday night because we've got plans going on and they're redoing my house outside, and that's causing my window to get redone, and it's going to be kind of a headache. So my Zen den won't be quite so zen. But there's some changes coming into my back wall, so that's kind of fun. So anyhow, I will be not here next Friday, but I will hopefully be back the following Friday after that. So take care, and we will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.